Hello, I'm Susanna Steers, Integrated Movement Specialist and founder at Moving Spirit, where we help active people find their best moving bodies. I'd like to welcome you today to the second part in our Holiday Survival Guide series. Today we're going to look at a few ways that you can help to support your structure in a time when maybe your routines around physical activity are not as they normally would be. Maybe you're partying too hard, you're out too late, there's too much running around with the kids, maybe you're hanging out with elderly relatives who don't move around so much. Any number of reasons why you might not be getting your usual level of physical activity. But you want to make sure that you just don't go from 0 to 60 when you do have some time to get out and move. Make sure that you prepare your body well so that even after a few days of inactivity, you're able to move well and support your body and avoid injuries or stiffness or aches and pains that really aren't necessary. So today let's have a look at a couple of ways that you can try to just prepare yourself, look after your joints, and make sure you're ready to go whenever you want to go. For this next session, you're going to need some space on the floor to play around a little bit. So if you have space on a carpeted floor or on a wood floor or a tile floor where you can put down a yoga mat, really you just need some space where there's a little bit of cushioning underneath your spine, but there's also some space so you can extend your arms and legs and move around. The next exercise I'm going to show you is one that I've rediscovered after many years. It's one that is a wonderful exercise for helping to lengthen and extend the upper body, to open the chest, to open the shoulders, and it can really give you a yummy feeling through the whole upper part of your system. Well, it can do it for the whole body, but I find, especially for me, a really nice length through the top of the body. And really it's a prep and an extension and getting ready for the downward dog exercise. So if you've done this a million times in your yoga classes, just take a moment and think about approaching it in a slightly different way. Listen to the cues that I give you, because you may find that you can connect to it in a little bit of a different way that may give you a different experience. What I'm looking for you to experience is really that great sense of opening and lengthening, which is going to help you in freeing up your structure when you get out there and do those activities over your Christmas holidays. So let's start on all fours. Pointer fingers pointing straight ahead, the rest of the hands fanned out, long through the spine. My toes are tucked under, sit bones wide, and poking out to the back of the room a little bit. You want to feel that your lumbar spine is not round, but it's not arched either. You'll have a little bit of a neutral, natural curve there. Feel as though the back of your arm, the back of the bone of the arm, is acting almost like a post for the outside edge of your shoulder blade. And you want to sense that although the upper arm is externally rotated, so your elbows aren't pointing up to the side of the room, they're kind of sliding up underneath, it's not your armpits that are controlling that. It's a little bit of a connection between the back of the arm and the shoulder socket itself. So just take a moment. You want to feel like there's a little bit of float in your upper body. You can kind of let it drop and press away. And feel the length, sort of from mid-brow line right up through the crown of the head. Sit bones are wide, abdominals are active, and you're really just looking to find as much length and space in your system as you can. Feel a firm pressure through the hands, and our first piece is going to be reaching, pressing back through the hands, keeping the shoulders open and the neck long, and widening through the sit bones, just pressing back. And on the way back up onto all fours, you're going to lengthen through the neck and the crown of the head to bring you back up onto all fours. And again, keeping that ease through the arm, long elbows, long reach into the back of the shoulders, opening the neck, opening the shoulders, coming back. And then bringing yourself again, lengthening from your center, so it's not your butt doing the work for you here. Wide abdominal wall, active, long spine, so there's not a lot of work in your rib cage. Really float those shoulders and feel a connection down the back of the arms. Now I want you to keep that connection and keep feeding that length in your neck as you widen your sit bones and reach the hips way up to the ceiling. You don't have to extend your legs fully, just keep them a little bit bent, but imagine your hips hanging from a rope from the ceiling.
We're going to keep the pressure through the arms, connecting through the thumbs, the middle fingers, and the whole palm of the hand. Lengthen the neck, keep that little bit of ease in the shoulders, and I want you just to keep that pressure through the hands, lengthening the neck. Feel how long the spaces are between your vertebrae. Breathe into the space. Open the shoulders, open the neck. Feel the length of your spine, of your sit bones, and the width in your back. And just check in, connect with the hands, but also feel how open the shoulders can be. Feel the whole length of the spine. Sit bones wide, inner thighs long. Really lengthen up into the space. And then when you're ready, come on back down. I really hope you find that one as yummy as I do. The last piece I want to work with a little bit is some ways to awaken the pelvic floor and just open up the pelvis a little bit. There are a million different ways that you can do this, but this is one that I've found helps to release the structure a little bit. So what I'd like you to do is to find a chair that you can sit on, preferably one with a hard surface, because then you can feel the bones a little more clearly. And sit on the edge of your chair with your soles of your feet on the floor in a long, upright position. And what I'd like you to do is to picture your hip bones and the sits bones, which are literally those bones that you sit on, the ones you can feel underneath you. The hip bones are in front of you and the pubic bone is along in the front. Long, easy spine, long neck. So you're just keeping the support through your system. In this position, what I'd like you to do is to hinge forward at the hips. So you're tipping your weight forward on the bones and then zipping up through your center to pick it back up. Now I'm a little bit too far forward and I'm going to tip off my chair. So I've smoothed back a little bit. With this wide across the front, as you hinge forward, imagine that the sit bones are reaching to the back of the room and widening out behind you. The pubic bone is reaching long in front of you, and the hip bones are just gently coming slightly towards each other. Coming back up, you want to feel the weight of your sit bones lengthening into the floor. So you're not going to tuck your butt to come up. You're going to lengthen the spine, zip up through your center to bring your body upright. So again, hinging forward, widening your seat, emptying the thighs as much as you can and feeling the length of your neck. And come on back up. Now we're going to hinge forward to about a 45-degree angle. Again, there's no bend at the waist. It's all in the hip. From here, you're going to take the top of the head and curve it forward, one vertebra at a time, rounding the back. Then a deep scoop behind the pubic bone to roll your weight onto the sit bones, and once you feel them underneath you, you're stacking the vertebrae, one after the other, releasing the shoulders and the hips and feeling the length of your neck. You want to feel that your spine is tracking one vertebra after the other. So the head goes, each vertebra in the top of the neck goes, each vertebra at the top of the spine goes, and you're growing longer the whole time. The undercurve of your body is working to support the overcurve. And then to come back with empty legs, nice wide, deep scoop through the abdominals, again, not gripping your butt. Plant the sit bones and feel as though you're pouring the vertebra down into the chair and into the floor. Sitting upright. And then last time, once again, we're just going to curve forward. This time, one vertebra at a time. Opening through the mid-back, hanging into the floor. And then unraveling one vertebra after the other, releasing the sit bones into the ground, feeling the length of your torso. And it feels quite nice. Then again, just shift, move the legs around, let the pelvis shift around a little bit. If you've stayed tight through the hips and the butt while you've done this, you may have noticed that you were curving more from this part of the back, in which case you're not really going to feel the benefits of this exercise. Make sure that you release your sit bones into the floor, feel the length of your spine, so you're literally tipping the torso on the spine, or on the legs, I'm sorry. And there we go. Those are just a few small little things. Really, we're just barely touching the surface. But they're things that you can play with in the morning before you get up and enjoy the festivities in your holiday season. Just some things that you can do to look after your structure that will help you to play. We could get at some of the extremities as well, into the shoulders and into the knees and feet and ankles, but that's a whole other session. So if you decide that you would like to participate in Moving Spirit's longer term course, the Thriving Body Movement Essentials course, which is 12 weeks to better mobility, we'll be looking at some of this information, but really fleshing it out so that it's things you can turn into a routine of your own to really help support your structure. So that's it for today's session. Enjoy, try a few of these things, feel which ones work in your body, and I'll see you at the next session. Have a great holiday.